Hello, my mouse dear friends. It seems right off the bat that a certain amount of timidity is part of your problem. Problems? Maybe more than one. We'll see. Okay. You're both of these are earth creatures. And of course, they have other strengths. So let's get into it. Mouse. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. The mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life, and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose or perhaps no accomplishment. To bring into balance, a meaningful project. Dear, loving, intuitive, graceful. The deer represents the yin aspects of earth energy, which is earth is inherently yin. So this energy is available to all creatures, but is especially potent in new parents. During the first few days, they are fully present, nurturing, and calm. Their inner beauty radiates, and a sense of grace calms the room. A deer personality affects others in this way, drawing them toward a quiet tenderness. The deer card may appear when a birth or celebration of new life draws near, or when a situation calls for absolute gentleness and compassion. When in balance, receptive, compassionate, nurturing. When out of balance, concerned and protective. To bring into balance, nature. It also says children, but that doesn't sound right to me. I believe Kim Krans never had children. That was one of the major issues in her life. Is one of the I hope it was. I don't know for sure that that's the case, but in some of her writings she talks about difficulties with pregnancy. So I think she has a bit of an overly romanticized view of what being a parent is like, and I can tell you from experience that not all parents spend the first few days being fully present, nurturing, and calm. That's very much an idealized vision of parenthood. But a quiet tenderness is certainly a worthwhile quality to cultivate. Being receptive, compassionate, nurturing. Okay, now then, let's look at your tea leaf cards, which of course represent things that will help you know whether or not this is your reading. So the first one out was the knot. Unsuccessful plans. Something has really not worked out well for you. However, you are trying to be peaceful about it, of trying to stay in balance, not let it really agitate you. But you also feel a need to get back to the basics in order to address these problems, perhaps, to maintain your peace and calm. And someone or something is going out of your life. It could be the end of a situation. It could be someone leaving your life. However, I'm getting the sense that whatever this situation is, you're trying to really be positive about it. You're trying to nurture yourself, perhaps, and look at it as a fresh start, which is great. It's a wonderful way to go. Now, I sort of accidentally started shuffling your tarot before I started the reading, and the Eight of Pentacles came out in reverse. The Eight of Pentacles is about doing your grind work. Honestly, to me, it's grind work. It's doing something, the little things, over and over and over again, and developing your skills. It really isn't any other way to do it. It's just practice, 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 practice. So that's what it means to me in the upright. So, attention to details, being an apprentice, really dedicating yourself to just doing the work. However, it is in reverse, which suggests that on the one hand, there's a possibility that there's a lack of attention, a lack of attention to the little things. But you have the mouse here, which suggests that you are good at paying attention to the little things. You can be very detail oriented. So I don't I think it's more a reluctance to do this. You could be bored out of your mind with it, which is understandable. The grind work is boring. It's tedious. So perhaps you feel like you don't have enough skill. Perhaps it's just you feel like you'll never get there with whatever it is you're trying to grind away at. Oh, Three of Cups. Perhaps you're trying to work on your relationship skills, whether it's friendships, intimate relationships, all kinds of relationships, family relationships, work relationships. Anything else about this Three of Cups? Seven of Cups, so a great deal of confusion. We have Death, which is in line with the Casket card. So, Death is typically interpreted as transition. Oh, wow, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say transformation. Oh. So it's not that anyone is dying per se, but something is coming to an end, or something has come to an end already. And now you have to transition into something else. Seriously? Oh, okay, sure. I thought it was the Ten of Swords for a minute. So, there's definitely a desire to move on from this ending, which we have here. The new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. It's interesting how your cards are really confirming each other. And you're trying to get clarity over something. So the Seven of Cups is, in the upright, it would be, really confusion. Oh, wow. You have 3 sixes. All right, Six of Swords, Six of Cups, Six of Wands. Although the Six of Wands is in reverse. Oh, that's unfortunate. Six of Wands in reverse is way too much concern with what other people think, wanting and needing to be the center of attention. So some narcissism there. We all have narcissistic tendencies, so, it would be foolish to try and pretend that we don't. But are they under your control? Or are you unconsciously acting out this behavior? And the Six of Cups, this can be about giving and receiving. Charity. Why do you have all these sixes? Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Oh, you got the Knight of Cups underneath that? Weird. Okay. Definitely goes right along with the grind phase. But your Knight is not completely in the upright. And now you have the King of Pentacles. So perhaps you are really wanting to work your way to this King of Pentacles situation, energy, however you care to think of it. There's no gender, and I don't attach any gender to these cards. So, King of Pentacles, someone who is very well established. They are generous, kind, caring, also wise. They understand the ways of the world, and they have learned how to navigate them in a way that has brought them a prosperous, abundant life. So I'm getting the sense that that is your goal, which most of us have. That is a goal. But you're really looking for shortcuts, I think, with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Seven of Cups here. I mean, my initial question was about the Six of Cups. Or not six, what, not the Six of Cups, all the sixes, but maybe it is a Six of Cups. Nine of Cups in reverse. Overindulgence. So it seems like even though you are really trying to put your best foot forward, and trying to, I'm taking these all away. I think your tea leaf cards expressed it perfectly well. We don't need any of these. There's some escapism there, which I've neglected to mention, but okay. Things have not worked out the way you wanted, but you're trying to maintain peace, harmony within yourself, trying to find this more positive outlook, more perhaps nurture yourself. You're trying to get back to basics and hoping that that will help you resolve your problems, deal with this ending, and move on from it, create something better for yourself. So that's all very great. But you're not stable. There's still too much of an inclination toward shortcuts, toward worrying about what other people think. There's a bit of an obsession with status, I think, which might be this mouse energy here. So you're really trying to be healthier, or perhaps it's the person on your mind, but no, this is, no. This is for you. This is for the viewer, not anybody else. Okay, let's see what the universe wants to say to you about all this. So I think you're really battling with your less positive habits, traits, trying to move on, trying to let go, trying to develop into something, someone better, someone more stable, happier, healthier, more nurturing. Perhaps you're doing a lot of planning, a lot of, I'm a little surprised the Two of Wands didn't come out. Oh my goodness. All right. We have death, coffin, casket, death, whatever. Oh, I can't believe you'll have all three of these. Plans did not work out. Making contact resulted in a breakup, an ending, a loss. Perfect timing. Ah, oops. Oh. Cards went flying everywhere. Okay. So, we have perfect timing. Past, present, future, which is really interesting because the crow is also an observer of the past, present, future. In some traditions, that is their skill, their strength, their vision. Clever problem solver, magical power, memories, remembering. So this ending has brought you to a crossroads. And you have to decide which direction you're going to go in now. Maybe that's why the Six of Swords came out for you. What are you going to do now? What do you need to know? I'm not looking for a prediction here. Are you going to be sneaky? Are you going to act in self-interest? You did have the Six of Wands in reverse. Are you going to go back to those old sneaky, selfish ways? Oh wow. I really keep getting you guys. You soul connection people. I mean, you know. I understand. This has really rocked your world. And this is the foundation of, well, perhaps you feel that's what's ended. And most of them do. If someone chooses this self-interest, selfishness, deceit. But we have the Wheel of Karma. So yesterday, something, no, not yesterday, a couple days ago, something made me think about some of the coincidences in my life. And I thought about, I had the opportunity to be a student with a couple of people that were very, very exceptional. One of them is still with us, one of them is not. But not many people, well, I don't know of anybody that has actually had the opportunity to work with both of them. As far as I know, I'm the only person who was fortunate enough to work with both of them, to study with both of them. And that made me feel incredibly fortunate. Perhaps there's some sort of coincidence like that in your life that you have overlooked. So you have the Wheel of Fortune here. It could be karma, could be fate, could be synchronicity. It could just be telling you that everything is out of your hands for now. That, well, not everything. You have your choices to make, your crossroads. You got this fox on the crossroads, so is that the direction you're going to choose? The direction you've always chosen? Because this kind of connection won't work if that's the choice you make. But not everything is out of your hands. Some of it is out of your hands. You have had opportunities, like I did. What will you do with them? What will you do with this opportunity? You didn't have, meeting this person, this soul connection, was, I'm sure, not something you chose. It just happened. And it's causing you, has caused you, to look at yourself, perhaps, to understand that it might be good to be a more nurturing person and less selfish. And maybe you feel that you have lost this person. We didn't really talk about what it is you feel that you've lost. There was this strategizing communication, and it just didn't work out. But it really did not specify in any way whether that was, it could have been business for all I can tell. But, there does seem to be a desire for reconciliation, gratitude, appreciation, openness, love, warmth. That all sounds very deer-like. But you also have a winding road. So this is going to be a long process. And it is going to take a great deal of perseverance. The main problem I see right now is that you got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And that is all about taking the long road. The Eight of Pentacles in the upright, is about taking the long road, is about persisting, is about being determined, repetition, doing the same thing over and over and over again so that you can get better at it. And you got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is all about shortcuts, about not making the effort. It can be about not having the skill, which is fine. Everybody starts out not having the skills. But you have to do the work. So that's the question I see here for you, mouse deer person. Are you going to do the work? This is your crossroads. But in this column, we have casket, the end. We have this end triggering a crossroads. We have the Wheel of Fate, destiny, perhaps acting on this crossroads decision. But you are required to make an effort. It is not going to be done for you. You got to meet this person. That was done for you. But this is all you. Your own efforts. Anything else? So metamorphosis. Embrace change, evolution of the soul. Honestly, If you've met a soul connection that's provoked this kind of change, this is why. Evolution of the soul. So, are you going to embrace change or not? You may have a lot of kicks in the butt if you resist it. And they will not be gentle. Well, it depends. The more you resist, the bigger and nastier the kicks in the butt will be. This is interesting. Resources, finances, income, commerce, lavish bodies of water. So what is this? I need some clarification on this fish. And it seems like perhaps you're very concerned with finances, with being rich. And I'm not sure. This really seems, these two seem at odds with this one. So embrace change, but then we have resources, finances. Perhaps this is what you feel is holding you back. We're talking about an evolution of the soul here. We're not talking about finances. Not that you can't have both, to a degree at least. I mean, a really ridiculous fortune is probably unattainable because it's not in alignment. There isn't a way to be a billionaire or trillionaire or whatever and be a good ethical person. I'm sure some people would disagree with that, but I strongly believe that's the case. And you need to balance that out. That desire